Oh, hang on. It looks like it happened. Yes, it did. Good to see my double chin there. Oh, welcome. Made it on here. Hope everybody's doing fabulous today. I was feeling off yesterday, still feeling a wee bit off today. Kind of lightheaded. And it's not because I didn't eat. I mean, God forbid that my body does not get fuel. But just feeling that offness today. So I had a course this morning that I signed up for. It was a free course. It was stuff I already knew. It was to do on finances. It was interesting. Love what these two young women have done and created. And I know a lot of people are naysayers about, oh, look at that. They're just trying to make profit and blah, blah. Well, yeah, they're a business. It's a they're but they're fundamentals, and I think their heart is definitely in it. So I think it's really fabulous when you see, and I've mentioned this many times to women who work in business, especially do finances, is setting up courses specifically for women, especially in finances. We're in a time where women can actually create abundance a lot easier than 30 years ago or even 40 years ago. Women I think, are able to take more charge of their finances than ever before and educate them, you know, educate themselves. And I think that that's so, so important to understand that. Uh, we have such a misconception about money because what is money? Money's money. It's energy. It isn't anything until you put the energy on it, right? And our world, you know, we need money to survive, right? We need money to survive. We need money to pay the rent or the mortgage. We need money, the exchange for food, gas, whatever it is, right? So it's that currency, and that's what it is. It's a currency. It's a current that flows, and allowing ourselves to, how are we allowing that current to flow? And there's different ways of doing it. And I know sometimes it can be very overwhelming. I know for myself it can be overwhelming. It's something that I've always had to struggle with in some way. How much I don't spend when I'm out. It's my new game. Very good game. But they did some really interesting analysis and stuff on what it would be on, investing and the average of what it is to invest, and not, gambling, but really looking into it as, as a long-term gain. Like, what is your long-term gain in it all? And they had different people on there that were my age, and some were older too, because we're all in different scenarios in our lives, and sometimes different things come up. So I found it very interesting. I didn't listen to the very end because I know there's a spiel at the end for, to buy in and et cetera, et cetera. So, which is fine. But they're just the basic. I think it was just a nice refresher for me to really get to that understanding on where I want to start moving, because it can be something that's very heavy. Hence, we're in, the Cancer moon, and coming off a new moon in what do you call it? Gemini. And coming off that new moon in Gemini, and very calm and soft today, mama. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of mantras lately and really helping to, you know, reshape my vibration. I've also been doing Our Lady of Sorrows, and wanting to release whatever whatever is holding me back, or whatever that is that's holding me back. Let it be released, and let it be, you know um show me so that I can understand to move forward. And there's just so much that's happening right now in the world, obviously. What else is new? But there's just so much energies that are taking place at this time. And it's very, very important for us all to be grounded, to be, where is my focus? Where is it that I want to create, my abundance, my life? And abundance isn't always, money, right? I went to Costco and I was nice to everybody. Oh, that, Candace, give yourself a pat on the back for that one. And the reason why I've been doing a lot of these things, the past, plus today I am feeling, um, I'm not up to par. I was, a little bit sick yesterday and then today. So I do have a little bit of, wobbliness to me, but it hasn't stopped me from drinking my coffee or eating food. God help me, with all of that. But it is where I know there are things that are coming up. I feel there's this energy, this movement that's coming in. And we saw it with some horrific things that just happened lately. Um, Oliver Tree, who just died in a horrific accident. And he's a musician and stuff. Kind of, I mean, some people may not know who he is. A big YouTuber and things like that. And that poor woman who was thrown over the cliff, and they forgot to harness her in. When I saw that, and when I saw that, I went, oh my fucking, I said, and I think it was in South America. I went, holy shit, that was a sacrifice. That's the very first thing I saw when she was just thrown over like that. I went, that was a fucking sacrifice. It was so horrific, right? And it was just so in par with so much what is being unveiled right now, right before our very eyes. And I feel like even with, what's in front of Washington, D.C. right now, right? With the fight, the MMA fights and stuff like that, I found like, oh my God, this is the fall of Rome, right? And when the Rome was falling, it just didn't fall overnight. They would have the arenas filled, they throw the Christians in there and, to be eaten by the lions and stuff. And it was very interesting, to distract people. So there's always been this type of distraction and sacrifice that has been happening in the world. Like it's time immemorial, unfortunately. But what I'm feeling is that people have to come, into their vibration, into the vibration and the vibration of mantras, right? So I do my had every day, like I do had every day, which is God and wanting to bring the abundance forth into my life. Um, I also do a little bit of Bible study in the morning and some other prayers that I do to help to ground and protect. And I also ask for the protection each and every day of love and light and putting that protection in, because I feel like there's just a lot more that's, being raised up, like a whole shitload is just oozing. It's just oozing out, right? And when I look at different people and you could just sort of feel their vibration, that they're just off, like there's just something there. And when I feel that, I just, I just bless them with love and light and pure source energy. That's what I do. Blessing with love and light and pure source energy. And knowing, seeing some of the symbolisms that are coming up and information that's being unfolded for us at this time, it's pretty radical. And it's pretty blatant. And with social media, it's like right in your face, right? And that's why it's so important to with the energies to come into it. Now, some people might be feeling off today, some, especially coming off of a new moon in Gemini. And this is the last week of Gemini, and we're going into Cancer, and summer is here, right? The summer solstice is coming in, and coming into that energy, coming into that, the new frequencies. And I love the summer solstice. I do, but I crazy things happen in and around summer solstices for me. I mean, they have in the last few years, right? Jared's birthday is the 22nd. Aw, happy birthday, Jared. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Come on, Jared. Let's party on, dude. Party on, Garth. Um, it's when I went to in June in was it June? Okay, yeah, there's that. Okay. In around solstices, crazy shit happens. Like in 2024, I got in a really bad accident. In and then in 2020, is it 23? Was it then that I somewhere around that, yeah, that, a few days after a celebration I went to in Edwardy Park, for the goddess. It was a beautiful celebration, very cold that day. I find summer solstices are usually cold. Um, I lost a job, like, a few days after that, right? And, so lots of crazy things usually happen to me, and same with, when I have, when Mars and the Sun, conjunct, I usually I get heart palpitations and weird things and stuff like that. It's just odd. So this summer solstice, right now, I'm like, I don't drive and I'm not working. So we'll see. Things seem to be um there's just other things going on. That's why I took that, looked at that finance course, and wanting to understand more about bringing in abundance into my life in a positive way, like in a passive way. And looking at, getting curious. That's the whole thing. It's like this is about getting curious. So getting curious on things, and about that, looking at that curiosity of the alignments that are coming in. And I feel like this energy too is asking us to stop trying to control the experience and participate, like getting involved. The Gemini moon um, is behind us, and we're into the Cancer energy. And of course, I'm a Cancer moon, Cancer rising. So go figure, right? And this runs into some very strange water. I mean, we're squaring Neptune, quincunx, Pluto, and this is typically like check boxes, and to get through Monday. So kind of day. So there's these shifts that are happening, and plans may change of what you thought the day would look like, and may not be, exactly what you want. So you got to go with the flow. And because so much of the world is changing, and it's changing so quickly, so fast. It's quite it's crazy, right? I think my body and my mind handle all of that. I'm so fragile. So um maybe it will be the opposite this time for you. Maybe, I mean, take me back to the early 90s. That's funny that I just saw a video on, what it looked like in 1996, and then look at 2026. In 1996, where there was Pizza Hut, you could go to the Pizza Hut. Um, the malls were packed, and people would go to the malls. There was Sears. Uh, you know, all of these little things that were around. And now they're not. I mean, Pizza Hut, there's no Pizza Hut restaurants anymore. You can order Pizza Hut, but it's delivery only. It's not eat in. Malls are dying. I mean, you go into a mall, there's so many vacancies in malls, and I think that's because they're so expensive too. I think that's the other part. People are shopping more online and looking for things online. Or the other piece too is that people are going to thrift stores. Thrift stores are a thing now, right? Although there's that twist that's coming with thrift stores where you're seeing thrift stores aren't real thrift stores. They're more of they're trying to make them more boutiquey and making them more boutiquey where they'll go and they'll get it, cheap, right? And then they will upsell it in their store, which is, I mean, fine. I mean, that's consumerism. But I mean, but don't call yourself I don't know, call yourself something else. Don't call like my concept of a thrift store is like, something cheap that you go and find some really cool stuff. And it's cheap, like Salvation Army, Village, uh, the Village one, Goodwill, all of those are great big multi-million dollar industries now that are making loads of money. And when you find out how they get a lot of their donations, and their donations are all done basically free, right? That's where you find the gems. Exactly. You got to get out there and look and see what's there. And I love thrifting. Um, so it's my jam. It's my jam. Value Village is not cheap anyway. No, neither is Goodwill. You got to really sift through stuff, right? And then you got to go when they have their sale on, like they're 50% off, or what tag day is it? If it's green tag, red tag day, and things like that. You really have to watch. And then also here in Calgary, it's what area you go into, also, right? So the different areas will have different pricing in 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 them. So, and I like to go to areas that are very good areas. Like I know you could probably find some good stuff in the Northeast, because I know they distribute it around. But if you are looking for something very ethnic, definitely go to the Northeast uh, Value Village. 'Cause you'll find a lot of, that's where if you want a lot of, like, saris and things like that, that's where you would go, and find some really beautiful saris and, women who have donated their, I guess, their wedding saris and shit like that, so, um, we should go thrifting sometime. Oh, yeah. Calgary's supposed to be, like, one of the number 1 thrifting places, in North America, and for how many thrift stores there are here. It's quite interesting. So I love it. I don't know if I could handle, like I thought maybe I thought it would be cool to work at, say, Value Village or something. I think the energies Oh, excuse me, as I yawn, the energies would get to me, because of so many different items coming in. It could be very overwhelming for people who are highly sensitive and their energies, because some stuff that come in is like, fuck. I've done this, Steve and I were walking through and he goes, and we walk by something, he goes, "Nope, not buying that. No, Mary, put it down." Like, "What's wrong with it, Steve?" "Don't like it. Don't like the feeling." So, so that's pretty funny. So, just doing it with Steve, it's really funny. So, the different energies and stuff that come in with that as well. I mean, to work there full time would be a lot. Plus, you know what? I've never been in a thrift store that I find there are very few thrift stores, unless they're individually owned, right? That people are happy. They're not happy. They're usually very grumpy. So, I mean, I find it quite interesting, especially when you go into the bigger ones and you look up and you can see all these little trolls and shit running around. It's quite hilarious. Um, with them. So I find that interesting too, because of the different energies that come in. There's one in the Northeast, and they can open. It's like it was an old garage, motor, to fix vehicles, and their whole front can open up. And I think that's really cool because when they do that, it really clears out the energies. It allows for the energies to clear out, right? And clearing out the energies is a really good thing, because a lot of them are really, you know, when you go and you go to places, you want, you're hoping people be nice, but a lot of them are just like, and if it's not priced in goodwill, like, they can't give you a price. It has to go to the back again and get priced. So they can't, price the items on there. So, and um, was just said about, the pricing is pretty crazy in some of those places. And Goodwill, totally off topic here. Get me on the thrift stop. Goodwill has a special auction site because they get, brand name items, donate it to them. Some dumbass is clearing out grandma's closet and doesn't know what the fuck is in there. It's like, let me go through grandma's closet first. All right. And I will let you know what you should keep and what you shouldn't keep. So that would be fun. I like doing that. I've done that before, is clearing out people's homes. I love doing that because the things that you find. Plus, as you're clearing it out, you're doing a clearing too. So you're coming in with love and light and pure source energy, and just you have a whole area, and working with the beautiful energies and clearing it out. That's really cool. But um or even storage units. Storage units are another thing. And clearing out storage units. I've done that before when I've worked for a new and used furniture shop in Penticton. It's no longer there, but it was my girlfriend Debbie, who's a lovely little witch, um, and her and I, when it was owned by her stepfather, when he'd bring shit in, and we'd go running to the back, and then sometimes we'd go running and he'd be unhauling all this shit, and then Debbie and I would look at each other and we're like, no fucking way, when we would leave. And then he'd go, what do you guys, and then because he really believed that and all the shit that we did, he goes, okay, Debbie, Mary, get in here, and clear out the energies. So we would go in, and he would have a sage, and I would go get holy water from the church, and I would bless the place and stuff like that. So we would do things like that just to help it. There's one item that there's no fucking way that we could clear it at all, and it was a cabinet from Scotland from 1678. It was a kitchen cabinet, and cabinets back then were like, when you built a house, then you built the cabinet. They weren't built into the walls or anything like that, so they're movable, portable, and sort of like an IKEA kitchen, right? Cabinets, and it was black, and it sat at the front of the store, and the store was I'd say 15 to 20,000 square foot. It used to be a hall that became a church, and then um, he bought it, and he got it at, it was a throw-in when he went to go clean out somebody's place, and they said, "Oh, you can have that." And you could see the date was on there, right? Because a lot of times in those things they dated them, but we could feel the energy from that. It was interesting when people would go near it, and then they'd sort of back away. And Deb and I put stones and stuff in it, and I did put a crucifix in there, just to help to appease some of the energies that were on it. It was just a creepy, creepy thing that he had in the store. And when he was retiring, because Les he was quite old. He was old when I knew him. He's like probably in his late 80s, 90s now. But finally, like, it was getting too much for him to do all of this. Uh, that was one of the last items. He had a hell of a time getting rid of it. And somebody did purchase it for their cabin or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I'll probably love it up there. So things hold energies, and I think a lot that's happening in the world right now, there's a lot of energies. And there's things that are happening and unfolding where people don't understand. Like there's I think it's called Disclosure movie that's coming out and by Spielberg. And that movie that's coming out, my hair, I'm just getting hot. Um, so I'm going like this. That movie that's coming out now is he came out with Close Encounters of the Third Kind when Chiron went into Taurus last time. Now Chiron is going to be going into Taurus this time, and he's coming out with Disclosure. And I find it interesting that that movie's coming out. I won't go see it. It's not one. It's not a movie I would like to go see, but it's just no. And because a lot of times with movies and even certain records and stuff that come out, there's rituals that are done with certain ones. And I know a lot of people are like, no, that's not true. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it is. With certain records that come out and certain things that come out that, you know, it's usually a ritual to the devil or to Satan or to something, evil. And when people go to these movies, and that's same with a lot of horror movies that are based on true stories, the shit that happens to people on set when they're filming is crazy, where they've been, psychically attacked, or they've, things have happened to them when they've filmed the movie or even after the movie. People, even after they go to certain movies where they feel kind of off or feel, what the hell was just going on, they don't realize that energy can come through a movie. Energy can come through. That's why if you're doing long distance healing, you can do long distance healing or project energy through a video, or as I'm doing now. So, projecting, if you want to project evil, you can do that, or you want to project positivity, you can do that. So, but people don't realize what comes across and what can um attach to them, right? So it's very interesting. It's just like when I do ghost walks, people are like, oh, any attachments, but I automatically call in Archangel Michael and all the saints and angels and the energies of the light to come in and protect us, to guide us on our tour. And in doing that whoever joins us, to definitely join us upon our tour. And I, when we go to different places, it's not to disrespect the places, but blessing it with love and light. I do that in my head, and pure source energy, right? So this type of energy that's coming in right now, there is a lot of ritualistic energies that are happening right now. And um okay, who's on here? Okay, Ozzy Osbourne. If anybody watched his last concert, Ozzy Osbourne's last concert, that was a ritual. That was a ritual being done. It was a vampire type of ritual of him rising up, and he died shortly after. Crazy, right? And you see it in his daughter and in his wife, how gaunt they're getting, how, and yes, you can say Ozempic and stuff. Yeah, but I think there's more to it. Sharon was Ozzy's handler. Her father assigned her to Ozzy to take care of him because they knew that he was basically a moneymaker. He was thrown out of the band for drugs and stuff like that. So his last concert that he was doing was definitely a ritual, watching it. And he was sacrificed at the end. So watching these different things that are happening and that are going on um, are blatant. They're before our very eyes, right? Uh, Let's see if I can bring up my little revolt guy. There's a couple guys that I find interesting. So hopefully I don't freeze on here. Now there's two of them. This one that recently happened. I'll turn you around so you can see what I'm doing here. And I've played his stuff before.
Oliver Tree meurt dans un crash d'hélicoptère. Explosion, voiture en feu et ferraille partout. Exactement comme l'imagerie de ses albums. Et ce triangle Illuminati récurrent. Son crash a eu lieu 333 semaines après celui de Kobe Bryant, juste avant ses 33 ans et avant de passer les 3,3 millions d'abonnés. Il a aussi 126 publications, comme la date de décès de Kobe Bryant, le 26 janvier, qui était prédite dans Call of Duty et ce dessin animé. Avec Oliver est mort le youtubeur Gatsby, et dans son dernier court-métrage, Hélicoptère, voiture en feu, et un accident avec le 6-14 écrit sur la vitre brisée. La date exacte du crash, et aussi celle de l'anniversaire de Donald Trump. C'est aussi le jour où Ronaldo passe les 666 millions d'abonnés. Hélicoptère en gématria est égal à 666. Oliver Tree, littéralement l'olivier, est aussi...
So there's a lot that's happening before us, right? And that's why I find it's very important to make sure that have an understanding. Yeah, there's some crazy shit coming in. And I know Candace was mentioning, on one of my lives about, what timeline are you choosing? Like what energy frequency do you want to choose? You can understand all of that's going on, know that it's going on, but this is the energy frequency I'm choosing. I know that there are crazy sacrifices and energies that are going out there, but I can bless it with love and light and pure source energy. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to move forward with a frequency of love, with a frequency of joy, with a frequency that this is what I want within my realm. This is where I want to create, and this is where I want to be. And I know I can get into conspiracy. I love it. I do. I love going down rabbit holes. I'm watching, even things about, things, who's it? Um, Grande's, Ariana Grande's, and how she's changed. But when you look at her and you look at her life, because a lot of the energies, the eyes are the soul, right? They come in through the eyes and the changes that have come through her. Selena Gomez is another one, with her energy and the vibrations of her changing. And you can see, or even Beyonce. Beyonce, I've always said was evil. Like day one when I saw that girl in Destiny's Child, and I went, oh my God, she's not a nice person. And of course, I always get backflashes because people are like, a Beyonce. How could you not like Beyonce? I don't like Beyonce. I don't like Jay-Z either. Like he's a creepy motherfucker. And looking at their, like, hers is very dirty, washy, orangey, gross color. And Ariana Grande's has a lot of gray in it, a lot of gray, yucky kind of energy in hers as well. So you have these ones, and you can sort of start seeing it. And it's like these parasites have infected them and taken over with that. But that's the whole thing, you see these energies that are there. It's like, okay, I see you guys, but I'm going to be blessing it, and I'm going to do, like, that's why I do my blessing to the mother of sorrows, and do a blessing to her, because, and bringing in that energy, because no evil can touch her, right? So bringing that energy and bringing that love in, surrounding you, because even as you go out and you know go for a walkabout or something, those vibrations are there. There's, you know, there's ill intent that is out there. um and I, you know, even though I know it, but I also know I'm safe and protected in doing what I do. And I've always felt safe and protected. I've always felt that around me. um and it's, you know, it's one of those things where I think, you know, even from my grandmother, who said, you know, whenever you do things, bring in the light, you know, always bring in the light of Jesus, and bring in the light of the Mother Mary. She was like big on Mother Mary, so bring her in. um you know, because you usually go to the mother first before you go to the father in most families. But it's bringing that energy in and around you. And I find, especially this week, is just so much astrological energy that is very changing, very vibrational, that is really forcing many of us to come out of our old skin and come into our newness and to come into our curiosity of what it is that we want to create for ourselves and how we want to create it. It's not an overnight thing. It's not something that's going to happen like that. It's something that, what are the footsteps that we are going to be partaking as we go forward? And the Nine of Swords was coming up quite a bit. And the Nine of Swords is all about worry. So what are those worries? What are those things that you are carrying that you feel heavy, right? And then the Moon card. The Moon card bothers me. I don't know about anybody else, but the Moon card always bothers me. Even though I'm a Moon child with a, you know, a Moon rising, Cancer rising. It's it's the energy of the Moon. It's the hidden parts. It's the indecisiveness. It's the change that can come from the internal, and that, you know, the shadows always look bigger at night than they do in the daytime from the moonlight. So I feel like with that moon energy coming forth, it's, you know, understanding that sometimes things look bigger than what they actually are, and that when we overthink it, then they even become larger. So it's like overthinking, and what is that energy that we are projecting and putting forward into. And for me, it's like I know there's a lot that of energy that's out there that I'm projecting, and I'm trying to sort of cut, clear, delete, get the fear out of here so I can refocus on something other than that, and focus on more of the positive. What can I do? What are the steps I can take to create my abundance, to create the things that I would like to create in my life and go forward? That's that's my thing. That's what I have for you guys today. You know, cut, clear, delete, get the fear out of here, and blessings. You know, bless everything, and make sure you protect yourself in all that you do, because that's going to be a very, very important piece as we step forward into a lot of the new energies that are coming in. They're going to feel somewhat imbalanced. You might feel the frequencies of feeling a little bit queasy. Yesterday was like, you know, even though I could eat something, but it didn't stay with me for very long. It left. That's a very ladylike way of saying it. And even today, with some of the energies, like even I wanted to take the puppers out for a WALK, and I can't. There's just no way I'd make it around the block today. I just know it, because I feel was just out in the backyard for a bit and getting some sun, and I just like, ooh, there's just, it just felt like this a huge bombardment of energies and stuff that are coming in. So I just blessed it. Like I just said, blessings of love and light and pure source energy. And, you know, allowing myself to take a down day. Now, for me to take a down day, it's difficult. I don't know about anybody else, but I ended up cleaning the bathroom, like just to do things. Um, I can't. It's hard to sit still. The reason I came on here, I'm just like, I'm just gonna go do a live. I feel like I have to do a live. I have to go talk to people, um, in my little bubble, and just, you know, connect with people. So, it's the energies are quite interesting. Um, You know, I'm not going to say the. I feel like my guides just said there's a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake. Yeah, there is a lot at stake, right? How to do downtime? No, no, Mama doesn't know how to do downtime. Yeah, it is even at night. It's there's a lot of I never really realized as much before, but I run a lot of energy through me, and I never really noticed it, but I notice it more as I get older because I feel like as you get older, you're a lot more sensitive. Maybe you just broke shit down more on yourself, but I do run a lot of energy through me, and I can feel things um, a lot more. So I'm asking for the angels to come in and the divine to come in to sort of filter what it is that I need to see and what I don't need to see. I don't need to see a lot of shit. I've been pretty good with them filtering out a lot of stuff, you know, but it's like even now, it's there's more than there has been. So filter the shit out. I don't need to see a lot of that shit. I need to focus on this here in creating and focus on what it is that I do and my services that I do. So, moon readings are all done. So, for those who've ordered the moon readings, they're done, they're sent out. Um, so that's done. And this summer, it's only going to be for moon readings and readings. So, and I will do little, if people want short quickies, I could do quickies for you. If you want a short quickie, I'll be doing like short um, readings, like 15, 20 minutes for, I was going to do $60. That's what I did at the market. So, short little, if you want anything longer, if you want 30 minutes, then it's $100. But it's just little readings because I think that's all people need right now. It's just if you want to go more depth, if you want to do more depth, definitely we could do more depth. At the end of the month, the last Sunday of the month, I'm going to be doing a ghost tour, and the ghost tour is going to be in East Village. And going into the East Village and going along the the river, going for a walk along the river, because there's a lot of energy that's there. Sometimes people um, don't necessarily um, realize, because the river is a currency and how much it carries and stuff like that. So the river's clearing. I think there's a lot of clearing that's happening with the river, especially with the bow. We live in quite a beautiful area where the bow and the elbow cross. So that's a very sacredness whenever two rivers cross. And the Bow River goes into many other rivers and goes all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So that's a beautiful vibration in itself, just to think of all that, the energy is going to be cleansed out because the ocean is a beautiful cleanser as well. So doing that, doing just like sort of mini little things coming up. I applied to go to a market for August. We'll see. Um, don't know. I don't think I know her. maybe I do. But yeah, doing markets in Calgary is kind of a tricky thing because of my association with other markets, things that have gone wrong in other markets, what was said about me in the past. I'm an evil person. So there's a lot there, which is fine. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm a Scorpio. Shit happens, and people shit on you. And then fine. Bless them with love and light and pure source energy, and then tell them to fuck off. Um, that's my motto. I'm blessing you, but I'm telling you to fuck off. I don't need your energy around here. Just fuck off. Or use the other word that people really take offense to. Stop being a fucking cunt. People hate that word. I know I'm starting to embrace that word more and more because it's just like the word fuck. It has um, so many levels of meanings that you can take, especially if you go over to England or Ireland. You know, people, yeah, over here really get offended with those words. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, that's what's happening at the Guru Mama house right now. Sending you guys off so much love and light. Definitely, if you want to book in a quickie, let me know and we'll get you going. All right. So, have a good one and have a great day. Enjoy. If you can get outside to get some sun, get outside and get some sun. It's a great day for it. Bye bye.